Okay, so in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be showing you guys one of the most glitchy builds in NBA 2K23, and this is going to be a 6'10" Kevin Durant build. Anyways, without further ado, please drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, and stop right into the video. Alright, so for this build, you do need to be on the small forward position. Obviously, for a KD 6'10" build, you're either going to want to go small forward, power forward, or center. But if you go with power forward or center, though, you're not going to be as fast as you would be if you're a small forward. So for this reason, for this build, you just have to go with small forward. And then for your handiness, you can either go the right or left. What I recommend doing is for pretty much all your builds, just go with right-handed or left-handed. So basically, look at your old players. If they're all right-handed, go with a right-handed build. Or if they're all like left-handed or something, go with a left-handed build. For the body settings, obviously, we're going to go with 6'10". I am trying to make a 6'10" dribble god here, so we're going with 6'10". And then for the weight, we're going with minimum. If I'm being honest, for a Kevin Durant build, you really don't need to be that heavy. And since you're already 6'10", and as you can see, you're getting a 7'4" wingspan, it's not like down low, you're going to get absolutely bodied or anything. It might be tough to guard like a 7'3" post scorer that's just drop stepping you all day, but that's just all center builds that are shorter than 7 foot at this point. It might be a bit of a struggle to keep up with like 7'3" post scorers, but trust me, you will get stops, especially with just how bad post hooks are right now. Like genuinely, this is probably the worst it's been in a couple of 2Ks. And for the wingspan, we're going with 7'4". There's a few reasons for this. Basically, it just gives you a ton of key attributes. I'll explain these key attributes on the attribute screen. So onto the attribute screen, you guys see based on finishing, the key attribute here is a 93 driving dunk, which will give you not only the elite contact dunk packages, but it'll also give you gold posterizer. As well, you're getting 17 total badges, which will give you gold posterizer. If you go down to 16, you won't be able to unlock gold posterizer. That's just how the badge system works this year. As well, you're getting the pro and elite big man contact dunk package and the pro and elite normal contact dunk package. And then on to shooting, you guys see we're getting 23 total badges, as well as silver limitless range. Like, you're gonna be greening everything. When I'm on this build, I do not miss. And then moving on to the playmaking attributes and badges, you guys see you're getting 20 total badges and 80 ball handle, which will give you like pro dribble moves basically. Some of you guys might not be able to dribble with an 80 ball handle, but trust me, I 100% can. Honestly, just cannot wait to show you guys this build on the 1v1 court once they add it back. I could go to the stage 1v1 court, but it's at like a 75 overall right now, so that's not such a great idea. And then moving on to defensive / rebounding. You guys can see this is honestly just insane. The way I made the build, you guys can see I didn't really go for that much rebounding. If you want to, you can drop down the pass accuracy and maybe the shooting a little bit to get much higher defensive rebounds, which will allow you to be more of like a traditional center build. But I didn't really want to make a center as much as I wanted to make a point forward. So for this reason, I didn't really go with high rebounding. You will 100% be able to snag boards on this build, but unless you're playing twos, there will probably be a taller player with you on the court. And even if there isn't, you will definitely be able to hold your own as far as defense goes. With a 93 block, you're just stuffing everyone's shots. As well as pretty good perimeter defense, you will be able to keep up with like those smaller guards. Basically, the way I play defense on this build is I just play up super high, try to bump them as much as possible. And then if they go for a rim run, I'm just getting a chase down every single time with Hall of Fame chase down artists. And then on to the physicals, you guys see this is definitely quite good. You guys can upgrade strength if you want to more, but I don't really think that's super important, at least for a Kevin Durant build. And then we're getting an 82 vertical, which will give us elite contact dunks. For the takeovers, I believe the first takeover should be limitless range. This is the perfect balance between just trying to have fun and also having like a comp takeover. And then for your secondary takeover, there's a ton of really good options, honestly. You go with limitless range again, that's a really good option. But I decided to go with pull up precision. So that way when I do get double takeover, I can like step back half court threes and stuff. This is honestly such a fun build. And then as you guys can see, we have built a 3-level scorer with shades of Scottie Pippen, Jason Tatum, and LeBron James. 3 very different players. But now, anyways, it's time for me to show you guys what badges to run with to make this build as good as possible. Alright, so for finishing badges, you guys can see for tier 1, we're going with Acrobat and Slithery. Acrobat's gonna help with like hop steps and stuff. Slithery is definitely going to be very important. The fact that it's a tier 1 badge if you're 6'10" is very clutch. For the tier 2 badges, we're going with Gold Limitless Takeoff. In my opinion, this is the second best finishing badge, and And then we're also going with silver fearless finisher. Fearless finisher is a good badge, but in my opinion, it's a bit overrated. And then for your core badge, you're definitely gonna want to go with posterizer. And as well, you can either slap your last like 5 badges on either rise up or fast twitch. For me, I went with rise up. For these shooting badges, you guys can pretty much see what I went with right here. Honestly, for shooting is really up to your play style. The badges I'm using for shooting really might not be the best badges for you. First, I'm going with Hall of Fame Claymore. Definitely, if you're gonna be like sitting corner on this build ever, you 100% need your Claymore. For corner sitters, this is the best shooting badge in the game. Mini Magic, I'm really surprised is a tier 1 badge this year. And since this is a Kevin Durant build and it's a tier 1 badge, I had to put this on gold. Tier 2, you're definitely gonna want Agent 3s. This really is a point for a build, so if you're going to be dribbling on this build, you're definitely going to need Agent 3s. Tier 3, I would definitely recommend coring your catch and shoot. This will just save as many badge points as possible. And then you're definitely going to want to go with silver limos range. And then for your last tier 3 silver badge, I'd rather recommend going with blinders or Deadeye. In my opinion, I don't think silver blinders is super good, so I decided to go with Deadeye instead. That way I can also just shoot over those. For playmaking, you guys can pretty much see what I'm going with. First, a silver clamp breaker, silver hybrid drive, and silver kilver combos, as well as bronze halos for days. It's honestly kind of crazy that those are tier 1 badges. I guess it does make sense. 2K does not expect me to be dribbling on a 6'10" build. Tier 2, we're going with gold break starter. Honestly, I don't really know if gold break starter is really that necessary. So you definitely could save those badge points for something else like bailout or like dimer or something. Definitely, you're going to want silver quick first step and at least some form of vice grip. Bronze is definitely serviceable, but I think silver is best just to be safe. And if your core badge, definitely go with unpluckable. And then finally, for defensive / rebounding, this is very good. You're getting silver ankle braces and silver interceptor. You can also get bronze glove if you want to, but I don't really know if that's going to do anything. And I probably really won't be reaching on this build regardless. Then for tier 2, I went with bronze challenger and Hall of Fame chase down artist. As I said, my strategy on defense is literally just play as high as possible, then basically try to bump them as much as possible, and then once they burn past me, I just get a chase down. For gold anchor, this is definitely a necessary badge. This is basically the same exact thing as rim protector, so you're definitely going to need this, or else slashers are just going to be dunking on you like you're not even there. Now, if you guys want to make this build on current gen, this is pretty much what I'd recommend doing. Obviously, for the position, you're going to want to stay on small forward. For the body settings, these are going to be the exact same. 6'10" at minimum weight, and then 7'4" for the wingspan. For the attributes and the badges, you guys can pretty much see what I went with right here. It's basically the exact same as the previous build, just with a few very minor tweaks. Really not going to go in depth about this build because it's pretty much the exact same build as it is on next gen. And as you guys can see, these are the takeovers I recommend going with right here. You don't really get as many takeovers as you do on next gen because after all, this is on current gen. And then boom, that is pretty much how you make the build just on current gen. Moving forward, I will be giving you guys current gen versions of all these builds, even if it's just really quick like I did it for this build. So yeah, that's pretty much all my badges, and that was the build. Let me know what builds you guys want to see in a future video. With that being said, there's 3 videos on the screen right now. Like, comment, subscribe, go follow me on Twitter, and I'm out. Peace.